Welcome to another episode of the Dope Conversations podcast, and we are live. Super excited to be here today with my special guest, Amilcar Butler, and the crowd goes crazy. Did I make you even more nervous?
It's all good.
It's all good. Thank you for being here today. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great,
Feeling
wonderful, and I'm just glad I woke up this morning on this side of the wall versus the other side.
There you go. And let's just go ahead and put this out here. Today, is it today or tomorrow that makes 4 years? What is it?
Tomorrow officially makes 4 years.
4 years that you've been a free man. You didn't think I remembered that? I remembered it. So today we're going to be here. Amilcar is here today with his family and close friends, and we just want to have a dope conversation talking about his journey, his life, and his story. Amilcar, let's tell a little bit about yourself. Come on, let's talk about it.
Well, glad you asked that, by the way, because throughout this course of, say, for instance, the past, I would say 20 years, you know, you didn't heard his story.
Yep.
You didn't heard her story. You didn't heard their story, but yeah, heard my story.
There you go.
And so I'm a native right here in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to skip the process because a lot of people may just want to get to the, you know what I mean, the sweet stuff. Oh, how much money did you make in the game?
Yeah.
You know, that's skipping the process,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Mm-hmm. However, I grew up right here in East Nashville. Mother, father were spiritual people, church-going people. But it's like right in the beginning, life punched me right in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
In 1978.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me if I, you know, get a little bit passionate because this is my story. In 1978, it wasn't no long haymaker. It was because in 1978, my father received a life sentence. I'm 4 years old. And so it's now just my mother, me, and my brother. Imagine that now. Imagine that. Keep in mind, father is with a life sentence. He's out at the main prison in West Nashville. And I'm getting ready to start kindergarten, coming up to 5 years old, going to Tom Joy, just letting you, you know, giving you a brief history, letting you know that I'm just a normal person.
Yeah.
Going to Tom Joy from kindergarten, first and second on Jones, the old Tom Joy. And so the third grade went from Tom Joy to the old Jerry Baxter.
Mm-hmm.
Now it was at Jerry Baxter that, you know, I felt at least I can run a little bit because, you know, at the end of the year they have field day.
Mm-hmm.
And so in field day, I'm coming in the first place in the 100-yard dash, and things of that sort. So it's like, okay, you got a little something going on. And the fourth grade, they shipped us all the way to Neely's Bend, which is right here.
In Madison, yeah.
Yeah, I never understood why we went from East Nashville. I never got the true story on that. Shipped us to Neely's Bend from East Nashville.
Yeah.
So now, coming to the fifth grade and sixth grade, right back going to Glenn Middle School right here off of Cleveland. Now was in the fifth and sixth grade, I met a best friend who stayed right beside us on North 6. We moved from North 8 to North 6, which is all in East Nashville, and North 6 was right across the street from Cleveland Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a guy who gave me and my friend a lawnmower. And so this is when I first seen, not first seen, I had a little hustling skills in me because prior to that, during the summertime, like 7, 8 years old, me, my brother, and a friend of ours, we used to shovel walkways when it used to snow and school was out. Make a little extra change.
How much
You,
money was that?
man, we talking about maybe $5, $10. We talking about in the 80s, early
Okay.
80s.
Okay.
I want to say 5, 10. I can't remember, something to that effect. But you know, it went a long way at that time because you got the candy store lady, which is penny, penny for this, penny for that. And then you got Mr. Winfrey and
Yep.
some other little nickel and dime stores that, you know, the $10, $20 went a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But coming up to the 5th and 6th grade, me and my good friend of mine, which I have a lot of good friends that I grew up with in the room that can testify, you know, to a lot of things when we were younger. You know, with the hide and go seek, using the whole street on North 8, playing hide and go seek, but just moving along a little bit. A man gave me and my friend a lawnmower, and one yard I may cut the front, he cut the back. Next yard, I cut the back, he cut the front. And so there it was, and I'm still coming in first place at the field day towards the end of the year. So coming up to 7th and 8th grade, I'm going to middle school. I'm like 12 at this time, going to Highland Heights off of Douglas. And so now I stepped my game up a little bit more in selling candy because most people got a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And in school, you're not able to go to the store, so I'm going to bring the store to you. But with the main thing that I thought people would like was blow pops, now later. Back then, you can get a blow pops for $0.10 at Mr. Winfrey, and I sell them for $0.25. I don't got all these books in my backpack. I got blow pops and now ladies with me. I'm getting it how I live at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna put the book somewhere else. So anyway, I got the blow pops selling them for $0.25. So that's 15-cent profit.
Yeah.
Off these blow pops.
Yeah.
So now you got Sam's. They had a Sam's on Dickinson Road. So now when I get the game that Sam's is, you're going to get a better deal at Sam's, right? It was right beside Wendy's. Right down the street from Maplewood. There was a Sam's right there.
Oh.
Way back in the 80s. A lot of people may not remember.
I remember. Y'all remember?
Yep.
Y'all do? You do? Okay. All right.
So we can go to Sam's. Man, now I'm taking them blow pops to Highland Heights and really killing the game. Then, you know what I mean? So at that, this is in the 7th grade. So now in the 8th grade, it's like I'm getting a little smart in academics. I'm in the speech class at Highland Heights. And then, just to backtrack a little bit, my mother always took us to church all the time as well. Whether it's by force of choice, you going to church. You know what I mean? So I'm singing in the choir at a young age.
Did you lead a song? That's what I need to know.
You know, I got, you know.
You got some skills.
Yeah, I'm saying I got a little people gonna hate on me, you know what I mean? When I come through with the vocals, I didn't lead the song, but I came through with the ad libs and all that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that was me then, not knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My skills hadn't been crafted.
Yeah.
You know, like today, you got, you know, Kurt Franklin and all them. I could have been on the bus with him. You know what I mean? Today. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting involved a little bit more in sports as well. And so now, my thing was, we're going to do all sports: basketball, baseball, and football. And so in basketball, I was like a 2 guard. In football, I was a wide receiver. And in baseball, which we played at Shelby Park, I pitched and played second base and shortstop, but at that time pitching was it was big because I didn't know how to pitch, but the coaches kind of crafted, you know what I mean, your skills at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm pitching down there, and one great thing that sticks out in my mind is when I was 12 years old and I have my 12-year-old baseball coach here. We made it to the World Series at that time, which represented orange and white. And that was a big accomplishment at that time, playing at Shelby Park. But now I'm coming up to my high school years, which is the 9th grade. And so I kind of honed in on one, maybe two sports at that time, which was basketball and baseball. I had a love for baseball in actuality before basketball.
Okay.
But now in the 9th grade, after playing that summer, that 8th grade summer at a basketball camp with Charles Davis in South Nashville, they kind of enhanced my skills some. Now going back to my friend who I used to cut grass with, you know, he's starting to smoke weed in junior high. So we kind of, and I didn't do that, so we kind of separated some, because all at the same time getting off into the 9th grade, his mother moved them out South Nashville. So I lose contact a little bit with him. I'm in the 9th grade. I'm excelling in basketball. And in basketball, it's a big thing if you get bumped up to varsity. So it was me and a good friend of mine, when the freshman season was over with, got bumped up to varsity towards the end. Varsity had a couple of games left. And so we were able to play varsity in the 9th grade, which was a big thing at that time. So now the $64 million question is, how did you get off into the game, meaning the dope game? Good question.
Like what happened? Yeah.
Yeah. How did it go down, start to go, but it actually went up first. Yeah, that part right there.
So let me ask this. So you were playing ball. I know in a previous conversation we had, you were playing basketball at Cleveland Center with Coach Hassel.
With Coach House. That was my first coach.
Okay. Was this already at Maplewood?
This was before Maplewood.
Before Maplewood.
This is like, Cleveland Center was like 7, 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
Type of thing.
So if you had to pick baseball or basketball, at that time when you got to Maplewood, would you have said, I know you pursued basketball, but was the real love baseball?
Baseball was the first love, so
Okay.
that's why I stuck with playing baseball and basketball.
Okay.
I kind of pushed football to the side, but I liked wide receiver as well, because at Maplewood, I even came off the mound and pitched at Maplewood at the big field out there where the fence is, 300 feet, and the pitcher is like, the spotlight is on the pitcher. And for me being a shy guy at that time, it's like, man, I don't want people to find out that, that I'm shy. Now, I ain't gonna say shy, was just quiet.
Yeah.
I observe a lot. You know what I mean? I'm watching. More, and people took that as, he's shy.
Yeah.
But I just observe and look first
Yeah.
before I talk. You know what I mean? Because once you done said something, the cat's out the bag and you can't put it back in the
can't
bag.
take it
So
back,
I do a lot of observing even now.
So basketball was your favorite sport. You like the way it dribble up and down. Is that the rap?
Like,
Kind of like.
I did both. In high school, I did both from 9th
Yeah.
grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade.
Yeah.
But it was the 10th grade year when things started,
There go.
boom,
Oh, go down.
so-called down. Because I'm like 15, just turned 16. Turned 16 in May of 1990. So I hooked back up with my old school
I
friend.
was just getting ready to ask you.
Yeah, who stayed beside me, who moved out South Nashville.
Gotcha.
Now, he has already jumped off the porch before me, meaning he didn't already got into the game, the dope game before me.
So is he saying, man, I don't know about cutting this grass and stuff no more. I know how to get something quicker than this. Is that what the conversation
He's
was?
just wanted me to come out south, you know, so I ride the bus out there.
Okay.
What is the MTA? Yeah, I ride the bus out there, you know. And I'm just walking around with him pretty much that summer of 1990, just seeing everything, observing first. I'm gambling also. I started off, you know, shooting dice, dollar here, dollar there. They used to do this. This is in J.C. Napier. J.C. Napier out south. So it's like, man, how you make it from East Nashville, where you grew up way out there? I got somebody, my friend, who's already familiar with South Nashville. And we talking about what we call the projects, which was a good training ground for me. I mean, for somebody on the outside, a good training ground, yeah, because it teaches you about life as well. You know what I mean? The streets. And so by being in, watching him and being right, because if you see the projects from the outside, it just looked like everything is going normal. So when I'm first introduced to the inside of it, I'm like, wow, this thing is like New Jack City in here. You can't see that from the outside. So I'm learning what to do, what not to do from J.C. Napier. Now I skipped a little bit when I also had a job, a regular job at 15 years old, where I had doctored my birth certificate and said I was 16.
Mama, did you know that?
Just a week ago, I found
A week ago. Okay.
So if I'm working at Crystal's on Trinity Lane at 15, I mean, I know you don't think that they were hiring, you know what I mean, at 15. So however, I'm working there, keeping in mind, Dad is still gone. Dad has a life sentence in the state prison. Visiting him in the beginning when we was younger, pretty much every weekend, but it's starting to slow down at this time because I'm becoming of age. And so, like I say, now I'm coming into, boom, I done jumped off the porch in 1990. I learned, watch and observe first that summer. My Crystal income tax check came in by January. So now there we go. At that time, there were older guys who had what they called the sack and wanted to see young guys kind of get on. So they would give them a little bit more for the money they spent.
Okay.
So I had tried to spend, I spent $25 and got $25 for at that time was powder, cocaine. The crack hadn't too much. Matter of fact, now we're in 1991.
How old are we, Amilcar?
I'm still 16. I don't
16.
turn 17 until May.
Okay.
So now we're in the beginning of 91. This is like January. So I spend them $25, but I get a nice sack. So I go, instead of, it's too competitive out South Nashville in the project. So I'm like, let me go back to East Nashville. South Nashville is where I got, you know, game, as they call it, learned that, able to finesse, but you made more money if you went out east, or when I went out east.
Yeah, because it was New Jack City. It's too
Yeah,
much
it's too
going on.
competitive
Yeah.
out there. So I go back out east to live in apartments. And that 25 got me $150. Once I made $150 off 25, it's like I'm hooked. Yeah, I'm hooked. And so I'm like, I want to do this again.
Yeah. How fast did it? I mean, was it a few hours?
I want to say a few hours, maybe, maybe that day, the day. So it's
Within
like,
the day, yeah.
I'm able to go back the next day and try to do the same thing over again. That's just like somebody that they first get high, some smoking crack, they chasing that same initial high.
Got it.
And so then that's what, mind you, I'm still in school
I was gonna say,
as
so you
well.
go back to school the next day, just
Yeah.
good student, playing basketball.
Right, yeah.
And then at 2:00, when Maplewood let out.
Well, we had practice and
Okay.
all that. Still
Okay.
dealt with practice. You know what I mean? Parents is still, mothers still in the church and all of that. But like I said, I'm in school the whole time. But it's just after basketball practice, you know what I mean, is when,
went to work.
another light comes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see a one light during the day, yeah, at school, basketball practice, or even the games, you know what I mean?
Did you feel like you were living two lives?
But at that time,
Or
it's
was
like,
it just kind of like fun?
majority of people my age, is like, it wasn't no big deal. Everybody's like trying to get in where they fit in at that time. That was my age. All the, teenagers from South Nashville to East Nashville to West Nashville to North.
So doing this every day, when you got out of practice, a couple days a week or every day, did you have in your mind like, when I make this amount of money, I'm on, or what? Or was it just
you
like
wasn't,
a part of you? What was
you
it?
wasn't thinking about that at that time. You just trying to make more than you invested.
Got
You know
it.
what I mean? Just invested in, as far as in the drug, because my thing was, watching the movies, and I didn't want to get off into somebody perhaps fronting me, because they may want to put a time limit on it, and a lot of problems happen like that. Meaning, if I just spent my own $20, $30, $50, if it's slow, meaning if ain't nobody coming to buy anything, then that's on me. I don't have to have nobody in my ear, man, what's going on? You gotta hurry up. This and that and the third. But I always took that approach. You know what I mean? And so,
So what were you scoring at school with the points? You was banging out at Maplewood.
yeah, Maplewood, I'm up in the late 20s, 30-point games,
Yeah.
so forth and so on. And so it's like coming into, this is the 11th grade. And so it's like the basketball coach, people start talking, he's hearing things when I'm getting ready to come into the 12th grade. Because that summer of 91, now it's like feeling myself a little bit, starting to expand as far as from right here in Nashville. I'm hitting the road. I'm hitting the road at a young age, meaning going out of town, which is 65, going up towards Kentucky, because you can make even more going up there. Yeah, so my whole thing.
So East Nashville wasn't making enough money.
Well, once you hear, I had a friend who had relatives in Kentucky. He was like, man, we go down there. What we didn't got here, you can probably make there. Mind you, it's not a lot of drugs or something at that time. And I'm saying drugs is, that sounds like that's like a bad word. But however, it's not a lot going on at that time. But at the age that we were at, you know what I mean? Everything was good.
So traveling, going out of town to go take care of business up there. How often did you do that? Was that every day, a couple days a week?
Mainly, the traffic up there was good. If you go on a Thursday, come back on a Sunday.
Got it.
But by being in school, maybe go on a Friday and come back. You know what I mean?
So the first time you got caught,
I was that summer of 91 when things started escalating. That was 1991, like September 91. Because I remember in Kentucky, I had just turned 17, had to end up getting a 4-door sedan DeVille, which I got in Kentucky. Because in high school, you got guys coming, you know what I mean, from South 6, South 7, they got slant back Sevilles and Cadillacs. Guys coming from Settle Court, you know, which, you know, they, you know, hustling and, you know, they got, you know, Cadillacs or Cutlasses. And so I just got in where I fit in with my four-door sedan. You know what I mean? We talking about young guys, you know, I'm getting how they live. But however, I caught my first case in like September 91, not coming home, going away from home. State trooper, boom, claims he been following me for a while, says I'm speeding. Now that I think back on it, he violated my rights, you know what I mean? My license was good. He went in my pockets. I believe I had about 1,500, something like that, and you know, an ounce and a half or something. I'm thinking I'm finna go up here and turn this ounce and a half to 6-7 grand up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talking about the small town in Kentucky versus being in Nashville. You probably make maybe, you know what I mean, 15 or 2 grand off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why not take the risk
Yeah.
at a young age? But anyway, I caught that case. I'm still a juvenile. They give me, I got some type of juvenile probation, supervision, you know. Hey, I didn't learn a lesson at that time.
They didn't make you stop.
No, I'm still playing basketball, putting up numbers, you know, 20, 28, 30 plus points a game. But mind you, at that time, they didn't have, like today, they got sponsors and stuff that, you know, help your youth out where you don't have to deviate, maybe get in the street. But at that time, they didn't have
They didn't
the
have
sponsors.
That.
Not in Nashville. You know what I mean? I had to be my own sponsor. And so that's what we did. We sponsored ourselves. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah. So you beat that first case.
I got probation.
You got probation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got probation.
Okay.
But it was like, wasn't too long after that, well, I copped a coupe, a red Cadillac coupe that had a white top on it.
Oh.
Yeah, we right back. But at that time, you know what I mean? Vehicles, they wasn't that expensive at that time. But
What's not expensive to you at that time?
1,000 maybe,
Okay.
1,500, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Like I say, still 17. But it wasn't too long after that, boom, I catch a case in Gallatin. This was crazy because this is on the day we got a basketball game.
Oh.
And so this is when things kind of escalate because the coach is trying to figure out why is Amilcar not here at the game. I'm up in Gallatin, and actually it was snowing, and the car ended up sliding off the road. And when the police come, you know, I'm thinking he coming to help. He checked my license. I don't even know that they suspended. Why is they suspended? And then I got a little something on me.
Yeah.
So they taking you down just because your license is suspended. Now I'm handcuffed trying to get something off of me, and I'm trying to put it in the back seat, not knowing that when you get to the station, they take the back seat up out of there.
Oh.
I'm young. You learning as you go.
Yeah.
So now not only is your license suspended, boom, we gonna tow that car. This is like November, maybe 2 more months. So we gonna tow the car, and we gonna charge you. Get another probation, like 2 probations, one from Gallatin, one from it was Robertson County at the air. I'm like, the first one was, I'm right by the Kentucky state line. But anyway, it's like 3 parts to my process in my story. The part where I initially go to, did 6 months as a juvenile coming into 1992, end up having to get kicked off the basketball team in the 12th grade because the coach is hearing several different things. So like I say, one phase is the 6 months in 92 as a juvenile. Another phase is 28 months in state prison after I go to junior college. And then the last phase that I did the time in federal prison was the 20 years. So I'm at the first phase now,
Okay.
coming into 92.
Is this Trevecca?
I went to Aquinas Junior College.
Okay, okay.
Like I say, that's
Aquinas,
coming into
okay.
the second phase. But the first phase, I end up violating the probation as a juvenile because by continuing to do what I was doing, not knowing that stuff goes through your pores. And so I'm getting drug tested by being on probation. So they're like, oh, you got to be using. And so
Oh, okay.
first I'm bucking until I'm hearing other people say, man, if you say you're using, boom, you can go to this little 3 to 6 month program and you get kicked back out. So, okay, I'm using it, whatever, if that's going to get me out quicker. So at that time in 1992, which hurt me in the long run because it's like, well, any little thing you do is like, man, you hire something, from coaches or whatever the case may be. But anyway, they were sending young guys first to Dixon, Tennessee, to a program that they call Good Lord. So this is the reason that this is in May of 92. So this is the reason that I actually didn't graduate on time in 92. I've been riding with the class of 92, and I didn't even graduate on time, but I'm still 92 though. Yeah.
He's still 92, he said.
So anyway, going to Good Lord, they do a 30-day assessment on you. Then they decide which 3 to 6 month program you're going to go to. So I end up going to Meharry, and ended up getting out in like December towards the end of December 92. And so
What were you thinking then? I'm gonna go on the straight and narrow. I'm just gonna stop, or what was you?
you start you start talking to other guys, that may be from South Nashville, because they going through the same process I did. They trying to beat the system as well by saying that they were on it because that you get out quicker. And started talking, got North Nashville, so you
Talking to
like
different people.
they may have a little game that's can enhance what you have going on. So it's like let me keep trying to see if I can take it up another notch than where I was before. And taking it up another notch is what I did in 1993. Getting out, I had to take one more class, the chemistry class that I wasn't able to take in 92. So I did that from January 93 to May. End up actually graduating in 93. I had to take that one more class. But
So at this time, we out of school. We out of high school.
we're out of high school.
We done.
Yep. And
And
so now my dad, who had the life sentence, he was what they call a jailhouse lawyer. And he had got his case overturned and got it expunged. So now he's getting out. He's getting out at this time.
Okay.
So now, boom. But however, at the time he's getting out, I'm already knee deep in boom, the street. And so a good thing when he got out, I graduated in 93, he took me to Aquinas. Me and him, suited and booted, go to Aquinas. And the coach at Aquinas knew about my little hiccups in high school, but gave me a chance, gave me a scholarship at Aquinas. We in 93 now. So I'm a full-time college student in 93 to 90. I played at Aquinas 93, 94, 94 to 95. And so it didn't start off fast there as far as the playing time. But the coach seen that the guy that I initially started backing up, this was his second. Junior college is 2 years. But it was his second year there. He seen that I believe I'm gonna have to start putting Butler ahead of this guy coming towards after Christmas, that is, which was '94.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did end up taking this guy's place. But at that time, it's like the street game is escalating even more. I'm evolving more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this one question. So your dad was incarcerated when and you said he got out.
Mm-hmm.
He knew the life that you were.
Uh, you can probably, observe from the outside and see that I don't have a 9 to 5 job, and my son is acquiring some things. So, you just put 2 and 2 together.
But y'all never had the conversation like, son, what are you out here doing?
Not exactly,
Yeah.
no, because I was able to kind of sugarcoat some things. I mean, to where what I used to do was I could get a hotel that could deflect some traffic. I don't really go there unless I needed to, and I could keep some stuff there because I remember they had a budget in. I remember that budget in. So, man, I can park some cars behind there. And this is way back in the day, so I can give up the game a little bit right now. You know what I mean? It was, so, I have somebody thinking I'm coming way from Donaldson or Hermitage somewhere, but I'm right up under your nose. Give me about an hour. But I didn't, boom. I done went right over the budget. Which was right over by the Titan Stadium, for those who didn't know what the budget was way back in the day. But anyway, like I say, this was able to deflect a lot of traffic where he didn't see exactly what I'm doing. But you see the Bronco or something. You see the short dog Cadillacs at that time. You see the Camaro with Dayton's on there, stuff like that. And so it's like, darn.
You see how that? Yeah. What about mom? Did mom see those things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's seen those things, but a lot of times for parents back at that time, it's like a lot of the drugs and stuff was new, the crack, so you really didn't know what to look for.
Mm.
And they were, and she was kind of slow to the street.
Yeah.
So you can,
You was able to.
man, maybe it's, you got some little side job or something to deflect it. I can't remember exactly what was going on, but I'm knowing that she's slow,
Yeah.
which I think, but she may say that she wasn't. Because when you're in the street, you think that you got all the sense in your parents and don't know a lot of times that they done already experienced and been through a lot of stuff you done been through as a parent now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I
So
understand.
dad pulled some strings, got some people, got you in Aquinas, and you began to soar and do just as great in high school and in Aquinas.
I'm doing even better in junior college, and because at that time I'm giving you like 36 points on a regular basis.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm giving you 36 in the street on a regular basis. So it's like,
So you
I
was
can't-
balling. You was balling on the court and off the court.
yeah, I'm giving it to you both ways. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, this is going into '94, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah, until the laws came again. Yeah. And at this time, they came when the man was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember, or can you talk about the incident that got you? Did you catch another charge when you was in Aquinas,
Um,
or violated probation?
in
or what happened with
actuality, I started Aquinas in August of '93,
Mm-hmm.
but I had called a case as an adult in May of '93. So at that time in Nashville, you were able to get a good attorney. And I had Glenn Funk. He's actually the attorney general now, but Glenn Funk was a defense attorney, good as well. So I was able to put the case off for a while. And all while I was at Aquinas, which was 2 years, I'm able to prolong the case due to the fact I'm a full-time college student as well. And so, you know, the people are liking that. And I'm making this, we talking about Aquinas was a school where nuns teach that. Nuns.
Yeah.
And so we know if you hear nuns, you know, but however, the nuns used to be at the basketball game as well.
Yeah.
And
they were rooting for you and everything.
yes, yes, they were. Because, you know, if you got a guy on a regular basis, you know, he hitting 30, hitting 36, you know what I mean? They didn't know about the other 36, but but I'm saying, and a pretty good student at that time as well.
Making good grades.
Average.
Decent?
I was
Yeah.
average, good enough to stay playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my thing. Long as I'm staying eligible to play.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's an A or C or, you know, a D, I'm eligible. So I'm the same as everybody else that was on the team that may have been making A's.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just being eligible, and
Yeah.
I was eligible.
Yeah.
So I'm just like them academically.
You did good.
Yeah.
So take us to like when everything started to turn for you and you had to like do some time. Take us to that incident.
Well,
or do you have something to say
well,
before that?
fast tracking a little bit because I went to state prison first. The case ended up the cases that I said was prolonged in the state. They ended up coming to a head in '95, and I ended up copping out to a 10-year, 30% in the state. And so we had just got back from Hutchinson, Kansas, junior college. We made it to the national basketball championship, and we made it to the nationals. And I remember Larry Johnson, before he played for UNLV, he played at a junior college in Odessa, Texas for 1 year. Then he went to UNLV for 1 year, for those that know Larry Johnson. Then he went to the pros from UNLV to the Knicks and some other places. But he sponsored the junior college national tournament, Grandma Ma. And at that time, it was like all the big-time Division I schools were in attendance that day, and we was down 15 points to Southern Alabama, and the coach put me as a point guard starting the second half. So by playing point guard, we come all the way back. I done got a couple of dunks, and I ended up with 43 points. This is in March of '93. Ended up with 43. So that's when I got put on the map, because pretty much every D1 school in the country is writing. They cheating, calling the hotel room. Hey, we want you to be two guard. Cincinnati, when Kenyon Martin was over that way, we want you to come replace our guy as a senior. We want you to come here in the '95-'96 season. Kansas State, hey, our sponsors Reebok. We gonna give you whatever, all the gear you want. Missouri wanted me to be the two guard there. Memphis, that's when they were kind of small at that time, but Memphis wanted. But I probably was going to go to Georgia, who was coming down here making home visits. But you want to know who wanted me more? The Tennessee Department of Corrections. They wanted me more than them. And they got me too. And they got me.
They wanted you, didn't they?
Yeah, they was first round draft pick. Yeah, I was first pick for Tennessee
round.
Department of Corrections.
Amilcar, do you think you would have gone pro had this not happened?
Yeah. At that time, after Aquinas, because I was slim and jumping out the gym at that time.
Man.
But what most people don't know is after that 28-month spell, people don't know that my career continued, because it ends for a lot of people at Aquinas. But I was going to school in West Virginia after I did the 28 months. And
28 months in jail?
yeah, in the state.
Okay.
So
And
I
you
get
got
out.
of there and went to-
I was locked up from April of '95 until August of '97. So in August of '97, my junior college coach, Charlie Anderson at Aquinas, still took a liking to me. So he was like, I had to coming into '98, January of '98, I had to finish like another class there to be able to get eligible to go to D2 because my Division I options had already ran out. You got a certain time frame to go D1. But I was still eligible to go D2. My junior college coach put me back on a recruiting roster that they have for coaches. And so a Division II school in Salem, West Virginia, seen my name, knew me back when I was doing my thing with basketball at Aquinas. So they took a chance with me, told me to come visit in the summer of '98. But all at the same time, when I got out, still making the wrong choices. So each time I get out, I'm trying to take it up another notch.
Got it.
And taking it up another notch in the street. So
Not knowing all those times were strikes against you.
yeah, all
Yeah.
those, because this is what the system doesn't tell you, is that when you're young, as we say, we trying to get low and go, meaning trying to get the lessest time possible by still being a stand-up guy and getting out. But all those times, the sentence that you get, it comes back to haunt you
Yeah.
down the line, which it did. I stayed out for 3 years from August of '97 till September of 2000. Basically a 3-year stretch. But during that 3-year stretch, I'm going to school in West Virginia. But that's when, you know, I kind of, I really had took off then, but most people don't know. I'm just telling the story now because we talking about 2 decades ago. When I kind of took off, meaning, boom, that's when I, you know, the real money started. Yeah, no cap.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling the story today because not to try to glamorize nothing, but maybe someone could, if I can just catch somebody to hear what I'm saying, because if you listen to what I'm saying, I didn't call hiccups ever since 1990 is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though I may be doing good, but 92 I catch. I ain't even been in the game 2 years or something. Get out in 93. Boom, get a hiccup again. Never had a long run, but the run I do have, I always prosper. So I want people to hear that when I initially got in the game in 1990, I'm catching hiccups every time. Never had no long stretch. And so, which is so, powerful today when you brought out when would be the 4 years, because I never been out 4 years straight. And not only been out 4 years straight, but not going backwards. We talk about doing all the right things legitimately
Yeah.
and making it make sense, making it work.
Yeah.
But in going back to 1998, going to West Virginia, now I'm going to school up there with guys from New York, Atlanta, Baltimore, DC. A lot of the group of guys we had pretty much given second chances. And the guys we had about 10 guys. In any given night, somebody can give you 20 plus points, that is. You know what I mean? But at this time, I'm able to be 2 places at one time. Meaning I'm able to be in West Virginia, but I had established myself that I'm able to actually be in Nashville as well.
Oh.
Meaning,
Yeah.
may leave something behind
Yeah.
where, boom, the show doesn't stop.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, in the streets, that is.
Okay, so let's fast forward to you had a court date. Is that what happened? Like, or did you get in trouble again, or did you have a court date you had to appear, and that's when you received the first life sentence? Or what?
Well, I'm leading up to that point now.
Okay.
Because I didn't get, this last trip, I didn't get locked up until 2000. You know what I mean? Because people, you know, you can obviously say, people can obviously say, why you keep, doing what you're doing? But however, a lot of people may say that, you still, you was benefiting. Yeah.
They were benefiting.
You only wrong when you get caught. But at the time, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hit my hand without saying nothing. Yeah, cause you see it. Yeah, so hit it, you know. Not with your fist, with greenback. But yeah, I'm going up to, like I say, 98, 99, 2000. So I'm getting a little breathing room on the street. That is. I'm looking good from the outside as far as I'm in school, full-time college student. Every time I get pulled over, I'm showing my college ID. Oh, my bad. So when they see, oh, I just ain't my license. Police see college ID, you know what I mean? Keep it going, you know what I mean? They feeling good. But however, as I say now, don't get tired of doing the right thing. And so, as you hear what I'm saying, the choices I made wasn't the right thing. And so, boom, doing the wrong thing, thinking that I'm finessing the system, even though making money, it don't take number one time to get caught as far as, mind you, juvenile, state prison. Now, not only am I evolving with the money in the street, I'm evolving in the criminal level as well, from juvenile to state prison. Now, in 2000, everything hits the fan. We talking about the federal government now. Listen to what I'm saying. Evolving on the street and evolving in the justice system. Juvenile, TDOC. Now the big boys want to draft me. We want him now. Yeah, we gonna take you from the state, you know what I mean? Cause yeah, we heard you doing 36 and 36. Yeah. Come play for our team now. Man, down there we say on 8th and Broad, which is a federal courthouse. This is when, boom, we saying that the life sentences come into play. This is when we saying now all those prior convictions, which the sentence actually carried 10 years, but if you got one prior conviction, it would have went from 10 to 20. But if you got two like I had, because I had a 10-year sentence from Gallatin back in the day at 30% and a 10-year sentence in Nashville at 30%, two prior convictions, the judge didn't have no choice but put me at a mandatory life sentence as what they call a career offender. Now, mind you, I'm talking about the choir boy. So if you can give the choir boy a life sentence, anybody can get it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
Oh, at this time, you have two daughters.
I got two daughters.
How old are they?
In 2000, it was 6 and 2. So the first daughter, who Amilcar, was 6. She was 1 in 95 and experienced a little bit. She may not remember too much about the state bid when I got drafted for TDOC. So in 98, my youngest daughter, Alexis, was born. So in 2000, she's 2. So now I got 6 and 2.
Yeah.
And so now it's like deja vu all over again. Why I'm saying deja vu all over again? Because now you got a dad that had a life sentence and then boom, prevailed. Now the son, bam. Mama never said it'd be days like this. That bar right there. So I didn't actually get to life until 2004. The federal government, they let the state keep the case from 2000 until 2002, letting the state do all the legwork, paperwork, and all that. You know what I mean? My case was state for almost 2 years. But however, and I get locked up on September the 17th of 2000. But throughout the process from 2000 until 2002, there were other players getting locked up in the game as well, but their case was going federal. And so by their case going federal, boom, they wanted to play the game sideways, meaning they started mentioning my name to the federal government. And so by mentioning my name to the federal government, the government is like, hey, who is this guy who they keep mentioning the name of? So they look off into me, seeing that I had still pending charges in the state. I'm ready to go to trial. Like, they tapped the state, man, let us get this case. This guy hadn't resolved that case yet. We're going to pick that case up from the state, bring it to the federal court in 2002. Not only that, oh, he been doing a little bit too much. So we going to indict him in a whole nother indictment as well. And so this is what they did. And I went to trial on 8th and Broad, September the 17th of 2002, had a 3-day trial, because you hear people like, man, don't try them people, man. No, you can't beat them. You can't do this. You can, yeah, you can't. Yeah, I tried them, but however, I got found guilty, but I realized that wasn't the end by just getting found guilty at trial. I had a 3-day trial, and now I'm dealing with the other case. Boom. In 2004, from 2000 to 2004, now I'm going to the law library on a regular basis, which is dealing with the detention center. One of these pictures up here reflect the detention. I'm in the 3rd phase now. Like I said, it's three phases to the process. I'm like in the 3rd phase. The state prison was the 2nd phase. The federal side is the 3rd phase. I'm in the 3rd phase now.
So you get the life sentence. You're in court. They give you life. What happens when they say that? Did you think that you was gonna get life? Did you think that? Because you had a 3-day trial. Did you think I know I'm gonna get some time, but did you think life?
In the beginning, I didn't think that you can actually get a life sentence for drugs.
Okay.
But by me started to go to the law library, then I understood that they can use your prior convictions against you, which that will enhance your time to get life. But however, when they use your prior conviction, it's like they got procedures that they have to follow, whether they catch you red-handed with something. They can't just throw you in jail, give you the time. This is why they have the law, which they call due process, which is a 5th Amendment constitutional right. And I'm only talking fluently like that is because I had to learn the law myself, because by paying attorneys money, they're not doing nothing for you, especially in federal court. So I realized early in the game that if I don't learn this stuff myself, I'm gonna end up dying in here or die trying, which is what I was doing.
They give you their life sentence, you go into prison, and then you start to figure out, how can I overturn this, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to figure that out. Because
So
not only is just going to prison in federal, with the federal, it ain't, it's more to it than just going to prison and you have a life. In the federal system, you got where people go to a camp, which is like being at home, but you may be in different cities. They got camps in different cities. They like trustees. Or you may go to a low security prison. But for myself, when you got a lot of time, they sending you to what they call the USP, the United States Penitentiary, and that's the highest you can go other than the Smooth that's in Colorado. So not only do you have a lot of time, you dealing with people in every other state that has a lot of time as well. People got 10 life sentences. I ran guys from Brooklyn, got 13 life sentences. One guy from Oklahoma had 29 life sentences. You wonder, like, how in the world a person can get that much time?
Yeah.
But they charge you with a lot of counts. You know what I mean? And then if you like involved in gangs or something to that effect, they use stuff to enhance your time that you get. And so I'm locked up with, you know, guys that are official, like American gangster type guys from New York, Chicago, Boston, all the stuff. When you hear documentaries of guys that have big time heist robberies, I'm amongst all these guys, you know, from DC, everywhere you can think. I mean, they got several United States penitentiaries, but I'm, you know, Larry Hoover type of charge partners, people like that. Little old me from the choir is around all
In the
these.
prison with all them people. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you can be somebody from your state, but when you getting federal time and don't nobody know you, or everybody was somebody. So in the USP, man, you gotta it's like reinventing yourself
Yeah.
in order to get some type of respect.
Yeah. So you served 4 years and then you had to go back to court again, and that's when you got the second life sentence, or how did that work?
Nah, when I did those 28 months in the
20
state,
months. Okay.
I got out in 97. However, I was still making bad choices as far as seeing what was going on in the street and evolving even more. And that's when I had started going to school in West Virginia. But that all had came to a head in 2000. And then 2000 was the last draw when I ended up going federal at that time. And so that was when the last long stretch, because the 2 life sentences, what man wanted, they had in stone, just fast tracking a little bit, I ended up getting. It's like before 2016, nobody even thought about getting a clemency or a pardon or something in federal prison. That was like pretty much unheard of. But we had the President Barack Obama come into play, and he knew that a lot of black guys that were getting caught up in what they call them draconian laws, meaning the ends that the time they get out don't justify the means, meaning the actual crime. The crime don't justify all the time that they give out. So when Barack Obama became president, he seen that, and he implemented what they call the Obama Initiative. And if you meet certain criterias, boom, being an honor, a good prisoner, you know what I mean, nonviolent crime, things of that sort, that you can try to petition for a clemency and or a pardon. And so after shooting all my bullets in the court, meaning because you thinking after you get sentenced, oh, I got them on appeal. 2 years later, I lose the appeal. So I'm like, man. So now they got what they call a post-conviction relief, where if it's something that your lawyer didn't do, you can say, boom, he was ineffective assistance of counsel. He was ineffective. But several different things you end up filing throughout the years, and they don't go through. You getting denied. So all through the process, I'm learning about the law. Now, just like my dad was when he was in state prison, a law clerk, now I'm a law clerk. Working on guys' cases from New York, Boston, Chicago. So I'm learning how lawyers think from the Midwest, because I'm reading their paperwork and different briefs that their old lawyers may have filed. So I'm soaking in a lot of game from high intellectual lawyers who then probably went to law school or some major schools from New York, Manhattan type stuff, Boston, because a lot of guys don't want to take the time out to read, work on their own situation. They rather have somebody else. And in prison, the stamps was the currency. And they didn't, everybody, you know, they can play gangster all they want, but they trying to get back to their son, their daughter, you know what I mean, mother. The biggest killers are.
You told me that, and when we spoke earlier, you told me that you went to the library every
Every day.
single day.
Morning, afternoon, night. Morning, which was the time was from 8 in the morning to 10:30. They call a recall, meaning boom, you got to leave. And then right after lunch from 12 to 3:30, and then in the evening time it was from 5 to 8, 8:30, something to that effect. Not just a day or a week. We talking about year after year.
For years you did that.
And I'm exercising because exercising to me was important because I'm able to, boom, get focus in and exercising, whether it was, because in the feds, they didn't have like weights. You can just do push-ups,
Jumping
pull-ups, dips, jumping jacks, things of calisthenics as they call it. But you got to find little areas, maybe it's not like no normal spot to do your pull-ups at, maybe on the back of the stairs. You had to think outside the box just to try to relieve stress in a positive manner versus resorting to some violence or anything like that.
Right.
I try to relieve the stress with the exercise.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Also, like when you're being convicted of that amount of time, I've asked you this question before. You have to turn off your mind about what's going on in the world so that
Yeah.
you can survive and stay sane on the inside. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I found myself having to do because I knew that I couldn't be in two places at one time. As far as trying to live, I didn't have any control. I tried to deal with controlling what I could. And the only thing I could control was myself and what was going on where I was at. I couldn't control what was going on the outside, out here in the free world, which I knew that I still had obligations. I
Yeah.
got two daughters. They're growing up. I'm missing all of that. They're getting into sports,
Yeah.
things of that sort. So mind you that I said, and in prison, the currency was stamps. But you got big shots in there as well that's trying to get out of prison. They still had money on the street. I'm the jailhouse lawyer. So
I wanted
They
to say
didn't-
this really quick before I forget. Alexis, you went to school with Mila, and y'all were on the cheer team. And Mila gave me a memory of the importance of you making sure. I shared this with your dad. The importance of you making sure that you got your dad's call when he called you. You didn't want to miss that. You know what I mean? And I think the cheer coach might have kind of tried to dismiss the fact that your daddy was going to be calling. You know what I mean? And you were like, I'm not going to miss this call. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was so much. Mila remembered that. The importance of you making sure that you made yourself available to show up for your daddy, you know, the best way that you could. And so even, 10, 15 years later, you know, I just think that that was amazing. And I shared that with him because Mila had shared that with me because she thought that was like super man. You were standing up to that cheer coach like, I better not miss my daddy call. You know what I mean? And I just thought that that was so amazing that you did that. So I shared that with your daddy. I know you didn't know, but I told him.
that was good. Yeah. I need to hear those type of stories right there because I didn't miss so much. When you initially told me, I'm like, that was touching. I didn't got teary-eyed when you initially told me. Like, wow.
It meant a lot. So one thing about you, Amilcar, that I, you know, listened to you about, even though your back was against the wall and you were facing life and death, you know, dying, you still found it within yourself to educate yourself and still be a light in some shape, form, or fashion where you were being able to help other people appeal their cases, get out of jail. You were doing that, and then you had told me that they were compensating you, and you was taking that money, making sure that your daughters had what they needed as best you could. I need a round of applause. Just doing things like that. It was just like you were still being the best dad that you could be. You know what I mean? As well as being a light and helping other people who probably couldn't help themselves. Like you said, they don't read, they don't do that, but you took it upon yourself to go to the library every single day and educate yourself. So much so that you wrote your own appeal, right? And sent it to Obama now, right? I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you tell that part.
I mean, that's the one. First and foremost, I always consider myself a man first.
Yes.
And so by being a man, by being in prison, especially the United States Penitentiary, people gonna respect you from that. Not being something other than yourself. When you start trying to be something other than yourself, that's when the games are going to start getting played on you. I mean, real people recognize that. You know, I mean, real people can see through the BS, meaning fake. Real is going to recognize real no matter if you're on the moon. You know what I mean? So they started recognizing that about myself. Not in one day, not in a week. They like, man, this guy's consistent in exercising. I'm talking about year after year. Going to the law library. Now we got people like Larry Hoover's charge partners. Boom. They would know that I'm talking the truth because we know this going to be on YouTube or whatever case may be. These people got the same 6 life sentences that Larry Hoover got in the feds. Not just to mention his name, this just sticks out to me. You know, his charge partners got 6 life sentences as well. We talking about people that got influence, not over just one city. I'm saying board members. They got influence over the whole prison who are a part of that organization. And so for them to not come to me talking, they coming to me listening.
Listening to you.
Why would you listen to the choir boy? Because he know what you don't know. That's
Because you've
why.
been in there.
So if I know what you don't know, what you need to do?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's all I'm saying is they were listening. They knew other things that I didn't know. I listened to that as far as perhaps outside of the law. But when it came to the law and trying to get out of prison, and everybody's trying to get out of prison is in there, they listened to me give my insight on what they could perhaps do to better themselves and their situation in case it. And they, they respected that.
Yeah.
That's what because respect in prison period is not given.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to earn.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like while you were in there all that time, like, this is it for me? I'm never getting out. I give up. Just forget. Let me just help other people.
Well, I'm glad that you say that because what I had to go back to was when I was younger, meaning playing sports, specifically baseball. Because in a lot of those sporting events, just like being in prison, you had to struggle. Like baseball, you may be down some runs, and it took pulling some stuff out of you that's not written in the book. You had to, try harder.
Yeah.
We in state tournament, a lot of time we was down, like in basketball, fourth quarter. So those were mental notes for me when I got older.
Got it.
Dealing with the life sentence. I'm like, well, how did I deal with some struggles in the past? Baseball, sports, and all that. So I had to bring that out of me into the justice system and trying to get out of prison. That same fire that allowed me, like I said, when I was at Aquinas, we came back from 15 points behind. I had to bring that same fire up out of me when I got denied several times, not just one time. That's what a lot of people don't know
How many
or
times
see.
you get denied? How many?
Man, too many.
Yeah.
And so you may see the outcome, which is me out now, or like they say with Thomas Edison, you may see the final product of the light bulb, but you don't see the other 999 times that he failed. You don't see all the 9 plus 9 plus 9 times that I got denied. But that didn't stop me from
You kept going.
shooting my shot in the court. And so if you learn anything or ever get down, just look at me, because I I never gave up. I kept on shooting. And back out here now, it's just like you got to keep reinventing yourself. You know, still shooting now, but the right way.
The right way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get tired once again and doing the right thing.
So you put your whole case together from, you know, with the 2 life sentences, you put the whole case together and submitted it to,
Which what they had was the pardon attorney at that time who got his hands on it first. I'm coming up to 2016 now, which I'm 16 years in, from 2000 to 2016. So the application for commutation of sentencing was really like about 9 or 10 pages. We had computers at USP Pollock, so I implemented my own application. I redid it on a computer and stretched it out to 19 pages.
did y'all hear that? He redid his own application. 19 pages.
Because all you can tell me is what you've been telling me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So my thing is that I didn't change the person who I was when I got the time. The only thing that changed was the computer, the numbers in the computer from whatever 0 to life. A lot of people let that determine and dictate who they were. But for me, it was the sports, like I say, that kept me grounded even when I got the time. And so even with the denials, yeah, I could have took it in my head and man, that's messed up, boom, start doing violent things, but that's just on paper. I don't, an individual is supposed to let denials or setbacks or whatever the case may be change who they were. And so by me staying grounded, back strong, win long, not breaking, not bending, it ended up coming back in my favor because the momentum, it all what goes around come around. It left me for a minute, but I, by learning and studying, it came back around.
Came back. Yeah.
And when it came back around, boom, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm gone.
How long did the appeal take when you submitted it?
As far as when we talk about appeal, we speaking of the clemency now.
Yeah.
And so the pardon attorney, I wasn't even going to file the clemency at first because I thought some other things were going to give me relief. Because I went back to state prison and trying to get those prior convictions off of me. And I thought that that was going to be what was going to get me out. Because I'm showing them how when I got pled guilty in the state, how that was illegal because some new laws came into effect in the state. But however, they put a appointed attorney on my case who ended up messing my situation up. So I put together the clemency petition for the pardon attorney. We talking about 19-page petition, talking about all what I just told you about the sports and, coming up in a Christian family and,
This is what you putting in the.
Yeah, this is what I put in the
You
petition.
got to tell the part about Obama. You put your girls in there because you
Yeah.
wanted Obama to be like compassionate to that.
Yeah, I'm shooting, as we say, from the hip.
Yeah.
Because I didn't blew all my options. Now I know that Obama, not only does he like basketball, when I was a basketball player, he has 2 daughters as well. So now, what I do, the picture that I took with my daughters, I put that on the top. Hey, I got names written up on it.
Yeah.
So when you see the names in the petition,
Yeah.
you can put a face with the name. The second picture I got with me, my mother, sister, and daughters again. So I got names up. Before you even get to the application, I want you to see family oriented.
Yep.
The pictures that we took when they came to visit me. So, because most time, you just a number to people that's out there in D.C. in the courts, or they see a name, but I'm trying to resonate with you. You see the pictures, you see names up on them. So in the petition, when I mention my daughter's name, you say, oh, I seen a picture of them in the beginning of his petition. So I'm shooting towards your emotional side. You know what I mean? So, however, by shooting towards his emotional side, to make a long story short, I'm here now.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna beat around the bush. Yeah, I'm here now. The lawyer didn't do it,
Yeah.
and I ain't bragging. I'm just, all I can do is just speak the facts. Some people say, "Oh, you being arrogant." No, by being confident, don't take that as arrogance. But most everybody else, they had an attorney end up putting their petitions together. Attorney, they was coming pro bono. A lot of them weren't charging nothing, putting these guys' petitions together. So what I did, it's coming to the deadline before you can put in a clemency petition. So most guys who had attorneys that were putting them in, they would bring them to me to the law library. Man, check this out. Check that out. So me, I'm soaking up game. I'm looking and reading everything.
Yeah.
But what I do, I'm orchestrating how their attorneys put it together in my behalf. They don't know. All they know is, boom, I'm just reading their stuff and give them some feedback. Yeah, he did a good job. Got that right. I'm making copies of it.
Yeah,
I'm the law clerk, so I can take it back to the cell.
Yeah.
I'm dissecting everything.
Yeah.
So I had my stuff so professional, but I'm just mimicking, boom,
What you had.
what
Yeah.
this high-powered attorney did.
Yeah.
And so I look like the high-powered attorney when I go up in there, and voila.
And they was like, man, this man really put his stuff together.
Yeah, because in
Yeah.
January of, like, February the 3rd of 2016, in March of 16, they sent something back and gave me a number to my petition. This was something new at that time because they wasn't giving out an actual number that's in compliance with your clemency petition. But they just started doing this. Mind you, clemency was going on, I believe they started in 15. So I came along late in the game. Like I said, I wasn't going to put mine in.
Yeah.
But in August the 22nd of 2016, my case manager came to me and said, hey, I got the DC contacting me about your clemency petition and said we need to update your, what they call it, basically your status, current status. And he put in there, confirmed, model prisoner, boom, this, that, the institutional courses I've been taking. I'm doing all of this with the life sentence and didn't know if anything was going to come along to help benefit me in the beginning. A lot of guys, like I say, that had a lot of time in the beginning of the sentence, they were acting a fool, fighting, stabbing people, this and that. So when a new law came into play that could help them, like the clemency, they couldn't benefit because they couldn't foresee that it was going to come down the line. I couldn't either, but I knew, man, this ain't the place for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more to it than me dying in prison. So I stayed the course, not knowing if anything ever was going to come out, because
Stay the course.
my foundation was spiritual.
There was. I
Come
was
up
just
from
getting
the
ready to
family,
ask you.
spiritual.
I was just getting ready to go into that.
That was the navigating
Yeah.
system.
Do you feel like it was your mom's prayers that kept you?
Man,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Hers and everybody else she knew. Her and everybody else, but hers was the,
That
I
was
know,
it.
you know what I mean? She never gave up. So that was the foundation that kept everybody else in the family. Because if she would have broke down with disbelief or what, I'm sure everybody else would have been like, well,
Yeah.
if mama or granny or whoever, then she didn't give up.
Yeah.
Man, we might as well give up too. So she kept the faith.
That's so good.
And most importantly, I did, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, as well. And
And never gave up. You never gave up.
I gave up because I would have died in there. I didn't give up when we used to be down in baseball. I didn't give up in basketball. I ain't never gave up. So ain't no need of giving up now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That ain't my, that's not me. You know what I mean?
So you've been out for 4 years.
Yep.
4 years to the date tomorrow. How do you feel?
Man, I feel good just to wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to wake up this morning, because I take it one day at a time. And just waking up on this side of the way is a good feeling for me. Doing the right thing. And that's the most important thing.
You told me in our conversation, I asked you, did you have any regrets? And you told me that you needed to go through that process.
Yeah, because things could have turned out different if I would have did it different. Who said if I would have did it different, stayed in school, perhaps playing basketball? Who's to say if I wouldn't have been driving, doing the right thing, and a light green, and a Mack truck coming, doing the wrong thing, running a red light, wouldn't ran into me. So, you know,
Yeah.
so who's to say that wouldn't have happened? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I could have been an early death or anything.
Yeah.
And so,
You felt like you needed that you needed that time to be able to
yeah.
mold you into who you are now?
Because it was a lot still the hustling was still in my system.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, it wouldn't have took 20 years for me. Well, that's you.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I know every time, I get out, I'm trying to take it to another level,
Yeah.
which is going to the left side.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to take it to another level now, but
But
going
the
on the right side. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it took that, getting that type of left side hustling up out of me. Yeah, for
To
me.
that person that maybe even sitting in the audience that's going to be listening, tuning in, what advice do you have to tell them as far as the resilience and the fight that you have within you?
What I just confirmed, what I basically had just said, don't get tired of doing the right thing. Because you can get tired of perhaps going to school every day or consistently working on your job, that I would say try to eventually, if you got a 9 to 5, eventually try to, start working for yourself. But as to each his own, but stay consistent in doing the right thing, because by doing the right thing, people are coming to your path, which I say perhaps are angels. I don't believe in no ghosts.
Yeah.
And they'll help aid and assist you. As far as people looking just like me and you, will come to aid and assist you. Just like my old coach, Timmy Ray. As you see,
Still.
I'm saying that he's white, I'm black, but he never discriminated. And as you see, he's in the room
Yeah.
amongst all of us. And that wasn't even no question or no
He told me.
issue.
Yeah, he said, I think when we first came in, like you always believed in him. Always. Yeah. Yeah. Always. Your daughters still do. Yeah, that's awesome. Your daughters were pretty much grown. Were they grown when you came out? For
Yeah,
the
that's
most part.
another thing. It was like when I get locked up, they 6 and 2, but then when I get out, they're 26 and 22.
Yeah.
So some people may consider it like it's like a victory because I didn't die in prison, but I learned that they call the dictionary would call like a Pyrrhic victory. Even though I didn't die in prison, it was a victory at great expense. What is the great expense? Man, you done missed out on your mother, now she's older, your dad, your daughters, you done missed out on tracks, volleyballs, and all of that. You know what I mean? So,
Are you proud of them?
man, most definitely. Definitely proud.
They are very amazing young ladies, very successful, amazing. Very, 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 very good. Yeah. When I talk to you about them, whenever we wasn't in front of the camera, you would light up. Just being proud of how they turned out and how much you love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which it's like needs to be reinforced and confirmed that the love is always going to be there. My actions may not demonstrate it sometime. It's like, don't charge it to my head. I mean, don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. Sounds cliche. But however, uh, man, just watch. Or my doors are always open, never be closed. And I don't mind constructive criticism. You know, you can tell me what I'm doing or not doing so we can build on that. And so I'm not here to say that being gone all this time didn't hinder the connection or the relationship. But as I or we keep waking up every morning, we can try to build on that. So how do we build on that?
Yeah.
Keeping the door open, not closed. I'm not perfect and never gonna claim to be perfect. But however, I'm not gonna be stuck at a standstill either. Meaning that let's continue to move forward and make progress. And the only way the progress can be made is talking, communicating.
You always talk about your nephew, how proud you are of him.
Man, his mother, when he was born, used to send me pictures of him. You know, I'm just hearing how he was evolving because I wasn't able to see him like that because I'm in prison. But to see how he has, you know what I mean, evolved into, you know, that's a man.
Yep.
You know, and I don't say that lightly. You can't just say everybody, you know what I mean, a man. You know what I mean? Because you have men going around, say they men, but they actually their actions are like a child or like a boy. And so.
So I like to believe even though you were gone, you were still present.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
if not physically, I would say always spiritually, and doing what I had to do in regards to my obligations. I didn't never try to negate those or put those to the side because a man is never going to do that. And that's when I was bringing about the being a law clerk.
Yeah.
You know, getting paid for that, but however, still try to take care of my obligations.
That's right. So where are we today in 2024? What we doing? What kind of business? What we doing?
We got several different things going on.
I asked you, what do? You said everything.
Yeah. Because my name is, I do that too.
I do that too.
Hey, what you need? Do you cut grass? Yeah, I do
I
that
do
too.
that too.
Can you help me move? I do that too.
Yeah.
Do you pressure wash? I do that too. And so whatever it is that you got going on and need, I do that too. If I can't make it happen, I know somebody who can make it happen. So when you see probably that truck with the ACB on it, I wanted to try to build something on solid ground.
What does that stand for?
And so what better thing to build it on than my own name? Amilcar Butler. I just shorten it as ACB.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Lil Deontay or whoever, I didn't want to put in Lil Ricky's name. No, I'm going to put it, because I know what I done been through.
That's
and
right.
what I done
That's right.
withstood. The United States of America.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still standing, so I'm going to put it on something solid, and that was my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's super dope. Yeah. Is there anything you want anybody to know before we
Man.
close out? What's something dope? Some dope advice other than what was the mantra you said?
Yeah. Don't get weary of doing the right thing. Keep doing right. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Is this is something my dad told me while I was locked up. Gave me a great Frederick Douglass quote. He said, "Dare to struggle, dare to win. Those who don't struggle don't deserve to win." Yeah. And so
That's deep.
if you trying to, it's going to be a struggle behind everything. Meaning relationships, meaning rekindling them or keeping them, you know what I mean? The pace. and going forward. It's going to be a struggle. Relationships are not easy to keep together. So if individuals don't want to struggle, then you're not going to win, or they're not going to stay together. That's just the bottom line. You know, it's going to take a struggle in all relationships. And so if you're not in for the struggle, then I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. Just don't expect to win, because it's going to be a struggle behind trying to win. Bottom line, whether, like I say, in business and life, period, it's always a struggle. And so I like to embrace the struggle myself. I like to embrace it, because I know that on the opposite side of struggle is going to be sunshine prevailing.
This was a dope conversation. What y'all think? I just want to tell you, thank you for coming on my platform to share your story and journey. We could sit here probably another 2 hours, but I had to like cut it off because we would have been going on.
Oh, yeah.
But you are an amazing human, amazing man, and a man of resilience. And I just wanted to tell you, thank you for coming today to share your story.
You will.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to the episode of the Dope Conversations podcast, where we had the amazing Amilcar Butler. Until we see you again. Bye.